Hey guys, got another quick review for you. This is for Wes Craven's Deadly Blessing. This was one of Scream Factory's first releases they did. And it was a Wes Craven movie that I had just never seen. And I had just picked this up recently. Like, this came out, I think, in 2013, 2014, the latest. But I just never got around to it. For some reason, something about this film never really interested me. But I was on a Wes Craven kick, and I felt that like I had to see this movie. But essentially, the general storyline is this dude. He was part of this like Amish cult thing. They're called Hermites, I think what they're called, Hermites. But yeah, he was part of that, but he ended up leaving. But he bought a house that's right next door to this to the cult. You know what I mean? And so his dad's like the leader of this cult, played by Ernest Borgnine, and he ends up quitting this cult, being a normal dude. He ends up marrying this chick, and obviously the cult doesn't really like the chick at all. And so they end up actually, it's not a spoiler, it happens in like the first 10 minutes, but they end up killing the dude, the husband, and they try to intimidate the girl into selling the land back to the cult and all that, but it doesn't work. So they kind of do all these scare tactics and just try to do whatever they can to make it living hell for her, pretty much. And I don't really want to give much away as far as that goes, but the whole movie takes place it's pretty much a single location. It takes place on the farm and the house of this cult. So to me, it kind of drags a little bit. It's not my favorite Wes Craven film, but a really young Sharon Stone plays a friend of the recently widowed wife in this, so it's cool seeing her. But other than that, it was kind of not run of the mill, but it was just kind of boring. It wasn't really my cup of tea. But there were some really cool scenes in it, particularly the cover scene here where Sharon Stone's laying in bed and these like hands come out of the wall kind of and start caressing her like that. It's kind of creepy. There's a scene that's pretty much a throw. You could tell where Wes Craven got the idea to do the claw coming out of the bath for Nightmare on Elm Street, because there's a scene where this girl's taking a bath and the cult people put like this big snake in the bath with her, and there's a lot of the same shots like that. So you could see kind of where Wes Craven was developing some of his style for A Nightmare on Elm Street, because there was some kind of nightmarish type imagery here, and there's some scenes with a spider that's kind of creepy too. But otherwise, like I said, it was just kind of boring, just a meh kind of film. There was, the highlights just didn't overall make it as enjoyable to me. But it was cool seeing Michael Berryman in it. He had a decent amount of screen time. And of course, he was in Last House on the Left and stuff. So it's cool Wes Craven hooked him up with a role here. It's just what makes this movie disappointing to me is I wish they could have done so much more with this idea in this setting, like these Amish cults and stuff. Like, they needed to do more. Like, it had more, I don't know, devil worship or something. There had to be something in it to really kind of utilize the whole idea, but it just wasn't, it didn't feel as utilized as it should have been. I read, though, that this was originally meant to be like a TV movie, so there's a lot of talky dialogue parts that are just long, like overly long, and it just leads to the boringness of it, so I could see why. So yeah, it was originally going to be a made-for-TV movie, and Wes Craven kind of just added a little bit there and made it theatrical, and I don't think he was that proud of this movie, and you can kind of see why. It's just kind of meh. But yeah, that's Deadly Blessing. I mean, if you're a die-hard Wes Craven fan, you gotta see it. I mean, obviously, if you want to see his whole discography, or if you're just collecting Scream Factory, it's one of their first releases, so it's worth having, but it's not a movie I'd say go out and buy immediately if you're not really care about Craven or Scream Factory or whatever, just because it's not that good of a movie. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. It's okay. I just can't say it's worth shelling out collector's edition money for it. It should have been like a regular released for me. I mean, the transfer looked pretty good. The outside scenes obviously looked really good, like in the farm. Some of the nighttime scenes were real grainy and soft, but it's an old movie. It's from 1981, and there's audio commentary track by Wes Craven, interview with actress Suzanne Buckner, who was the wife, a few other and the writers, TV spots, and theatrical trailer. So really, there's not even enough features either to really make this a collector's edition. No new things at all. So yeah, I don't really recommend it, to be honest. And it pains me to say that, because it's a Wes Craven film, but it was really disappointing to me, and I can't really lie. And, you know, I'm not going to say it's good just because it's Wes Craven. So, yeah, I definitely don't recommend it. So, I'll see y'all tomorrow for more reviews. Peace.